Thank you so much for, coming back here at Istora Senayan to make the dreams for all these players. It's a full crowd, even here in the lower bracket finals. But let's go to the second game of the series. Bigatron Alpha and AP BREN. Joy, Angela, as well as the Kaja has already been opted out.
But yeah, guys, I have a hunch actually. If the second game, like Bigatron is stomping AP BREN again, I think it can be sweep 3-0.
Wow.
It can be.
That's a statement. Wow, hopefully we'll see.
But yeah,
see.
for AP BREN fans, I think they can pray for my prediction or hunch is wrong. But it's just a hunch because the mentality, the morality will go down because they just cannot fight back against Bigatron Alpha for these two games. But we gonna see because the game is still on and we are just into the second game.
If that's the case, then this makes this game that
Very
much more
crucial.
important. Minotaur gonna be taken away once again, taken away from Ogwen. Ling, as well as Yves and the Paquito have actually been left open. Fredrin gonna be taken out as well, so that's the flex taken away from Bigatron.
Well, what they're saying is perhaps they adjusted, right? They saw how the Fredrin was just a nuisance in that first game with that Angela. Well, ban it out. So let's see. What will they pick up here? I mean, alongside Valentina, Paquito now is up for grabs as well. There you go. With the Ling ban, it opens still a lot of heroes. AP BREN, what approach will they commit to? It's going to be the Claude taking it away from the hands of Saken.
So they are leaving Valentina to Bigatron
And Paquito.
Alpha. Yeah. Whoa, a lot of heroes that been open, and yeah, they just pick the Paquito and Valentina directly without thinking anything.
I mean, I really like it, right? I really like their approach here from both teams. They both seem comfortable with their picks. Very fast drafts here, but now AP BREN is taking their time. What is going on? What will they go for here? Uranus is open. Sure, it doesn't really do well going up against the Paquito, but then again, with a Uranus, at least you have that strong frontliner.
I know this is sketchy, but pick up the Fanny, man. You want early game pressure, you want fast clear, you want to be able to rotate around the map quickly. I think Fanny's a good pick. I understand it's scary against the Paquito, so they go for something a little bit safer. They're still setting up here. With the Lapu Lapu pickup and the Krufa, they're securing AoE CC as well as a solution for the backline if Bigatron Alpha want to pick up something like the Leslie to win against the Claude in lane.
I like it. I like it. The draft here from the side of Kufra and Lapu Lapu. Why? It anticipates the Fanny pickup perhaps, right? With the Kufra, it really counters the Fanny. And there you go. Bigatron, they will not pick up the jungler. Sure, Paquito, it's a flex. But with this Franco, at least it has single lock. So let's see here. AP BREN can definitely go for more AoE, knowing that the Franco, a single lock, is already from the side of Bigatron.
Because they still can use Farsia if they want to, in case like countering the gold laner that can be picked from Bigatron Alpha. But on the AP BREN side, I think they're gonna ban Wan because we know usually Wan will shows up when Finn uses his Franco.
Yeah, definitely, right? I mean, let's see here, a very interesting ban, right? With the Kadita saying you will not go for the Kadita, but are they looking for the Kadita here? BREN, what will they go for?
Bigatron, they're anticipating that they would have a possibility to pick up the Leslie, a potential there. So they take away the Kadita, a hero that can go dive into the backline and one-shot the Leslie. They're setting up to protect that backline. Meanwhile, for BREN, I think it's wise to ban the Leslie out here. Honestly, Leslie can be taken away. With the Kadita off as well, you can go for the Melissa ban. They go for a carry here, respecting Saken, and now Faramis has also been eliminated. So they're also asking the question here for a few, what are you going to play? Are you going to be forced onto something like the Novaria, who's quote-unquote really vulnerable in the backline?
With banning carry, I think AP BREN gonna play more tanky heroes for the jungle side.
Okay.
Yeah, if they pick like another tanky heroes, 3 heroes can like defense. Like we already see yesterday, even they are using like 3 fighters heroes and only counting on his and on their gold laner.
Yeah, I mean, Baksha is still open, right? So
Uh-huh.
it does make sense here with the carry man. Will they go for the Baksha pick? But then again, Bigatron will have that first pick in the second phase. Maybe they will go and pick up the Baksha for themselves. Going up against going up against Kufra, going up against Lapu, I think Baksha here could.
And Farsa.
Yeah,
And Farsa because Grok
Yeah.
is close.
Oh,
And
no.
yeah, there it is, 1-1. Because we
Okay.
already know that when Franco shows up on Bigatron's side, usually Saken gonna use 1-1.
So the combo there, the synergy. And they also have a lot of burst, so this was very different to AP BREN, who picks up the Franco that really didn't have an additional amount of burst coming in to support the Franco pick. But here we have the Paquito as well as the 1-1-2. For AP BREN, they could definitely pick up something like the Farsa here. There's not a lot of dive, plus it outranges the 1-1 and can deal damage towards her. So I think Farsa is a good pick, but for jungle, you think it's going to be Nakai?
Oh, a
Can be a Kai, can be Baxia now, because with Sustainable Hero, it can hold the 1-1 crossbow tank, right? Oh, it's Fanny.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's a Fanny pick.
Yeah, it's Eterna Hunch before when she's thinking about Fanny and it shows up now. They gonna playing the fast game.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Going up against a 1-1, you want to have someone that can burst that 1-1 out. So after Bigatron picked that 1-1, Fanny pick, it's a counter. We saw what happened at MSC, the 1-1, the Kyrie Fanny. It's a good pickup.
Yep, at least it makes 1-1 need to build the Wind of Nature so fast on the early game. I think it's on the second item or maybe third item.
Yeah.
So if you were Bigatron now, would you flex Paquito EXP lane, a Baxia jungle? What would you go against the Fanny with? What wins in the jungle?
there you go,
Yep.
the
There you go,
Baksha.
There you go.
Baxia.
Nice hunch, Coach Eterna.
Bro, I'm on a roll this game. It's luck, it's luck, it's luck.
And let's see here what will happen in game 2 with this lineup from both
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah, it's all gonna back down on the early game. Who is gonna be able to gain control? Will it be Bigatron or will it be AP BREN? Let's throw it over to the casters here for the second game of the series.
Thank you, Coach Eterna. I'm going to call back to a conversation I had with Coach Aldo here, Gideon. So after they defeated AP BREN in the group stage, I asked Coach Aldo, hey, Coach Aldo, who did you hate going up against when you were facing AP BREN? And he said, oh, Calteezy, that Fanny, man, I really hate it so much. And now they're going up against it again.
Yeah, and one thing that I've recognized amongst Filipino junglers is the fact that, oh, hey, there's a Franco there, Bloody Hunt, don't care, I'm still gonna play Fanny.
Yeah, I'm still going to go in.
It's-
Everything's fine.
It goes against logic, but it's also just shows the level that these players are going at. Just don't get caught, it's as simple as that. You got steel cables, you are highly maneuverable, we'll get around it.
Yeah, don't get caught. That's going to be something AP BREN will really want to grip onto. Not just for their Fanny, but the fact that they have to really watch out for that 1-1. If they're not careful, if they've got marked up and the 1-1 starts flying, doesn't look good for AP BREN. They're going to want to delay the inevitable farm and the damage that the 1-1 will eventually bring to the table and really hold on to their dashes to get out of range.
I mean, I feel like these two particular drafts, now that we're getting away and straying further and further from the Angela, which I'm very happy for, because now when people are fighting, you're on your own, right? You're hoping for rotations to come on in. But Super Ken showing off his Boxia once more. He wants to be super oppressive. And even for the side of AP BREN, they need to be oppressive themselves with the amount of kill pressure they actually have. So I feel like this is a great way to kind of identify the teams.
Yeah, on the side of AP BREN, you have good early to late composition. If the Fanny has a good game, the Lapu has a good game, then Super Marco will be happy. I mean, they have a Farsa on their side as well that they can use to really facilitate the eventual scaling that they'll get. Meanwhile, on the side of Bigatron Alpha, this is looking more like just a lineup that's built around the 1-1 to help Sak and shine.
Well, at least I'm not seeing the X-Borg. At least I'm not seeing hard peel. Well, I mean, Cerezo's lane is going to be the only X factor here, right? It's a very volatile lane, and it is changed up a little bit because now the jab can actually affect the entirety of the wave, not just at the very end of it, which changes the dynamic a lot, right? It makes pre-level 4 a lot more punishing for Lapu. So keep your eyes. Once FlapTZ hits that level 4, if he doesn't find a kill or at least starts getting ahead of Cerezo, I think this pack is going to really steal this game away.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Super Vin here, because his performance as the Franco up against Echo and, well, the entire Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals, he just seems to find targets over and over again. There's something about, I think there's like a homing beacon or whatever on his iron hooks, because he will blindly flicker forward and somehow the hook he'll toss out will land onto someone.
We talked about this before. We talked about this before in the waiting room, right?
Yeah.
So the Boxer goes up first as the scout dog, sniffs it out, looks for those landmines, and then when he realizes, oh no, the hunters, the poachers, they're coming away, I'm just gonna make a quick U-turn, and that's when the iron hook comes in. Scout out for vision early, let Vin do the fishing.
Yeah, this combination between the Baksha and Franco, the Super Twins here, Ken and Vin, they play around each other so well with their ability kits, baiting out abilities, making sure Vin can get those hooks and those catches as the Franco. We were talking about it while the draft was ensuing. Again, there's just something about the Indonesian teams and how they've improved their ability to watch out for key dashes. They really want to see if the opposing team has an escape tool. Once those are gone, that's when they're going to pounce. And when they start off team fights, they're just going to see if they can bait things out, and then they'll go full on. They've really improved on their team fighting here that I feel like the Filipino teams, RSG, fell victim to it. Echo fell victim to it. And in game number 1, AP BREN fell victim to it.
I don't know, it feels like it's that wide view. Remember the wide view, the good old days of MLBB, where it's just like you get that extended view. That's what it feels like they have consistently. I don't know whether it's the S23 Ultra is one of those features, but hey, I'm just saying there's a big difference here at the SPS in comparison to your regular MPL.
Man, I remember those days. It was difficult to be a caster. We didn't get to see the battle spells. We only got the tickers for ultimates. We don't know if they had their flicker or their retries, because during that era when the team fighting was ensuing, right? They press something, the observers, and then everything is just like, oh, let's just look at green dots and fighting.
Oh, those were truly the good old days. But now technology has continued to improve. We've got APIs that kind of keep everything in check and keeps everything, keeps us up to date. You know, it's hard to kind of fill on the information, but the information at hand is this. If this early game doesn't go well, you could easily make this game quick. Like, it's super lopsided if one team is able to get, like, I'm gonna put a cap on it. 4,000 gold lead seems a little minimal. 5,000 is generous. 6,000 is a death sentence.
Yeah, you can actually see on the handsets of the players right now, they're going for a quick redraft. I don't think there's gonna be anything changed. It's still gonna be the same draft, still gonna be the same story. They're just gonna run things through again. Remember, we do this so that the players and the teams have the best scenario for them set up so that they can be successful in the game. Now, you mentioned that 4,000 gold. I'm also going to add to that. Along with that 4,000 gold, I think both of these teams with the lineups they showed, if it is a close back and forth for the first, let's say, 6 to 7 minutes, they both have rooms for at least 2 major errors. If they get 2 major errors, let's say a major team fight loss, or maybe they lose a lot after getting a turtle or not getting a major objective, that's going to be one of their death sentences as well. Rooms for 2 major errors for both of them.
How many casualties are we talking about here? How many in that team fight? We talking 3 casualties?
3.
We talking about 2?
3.
3 casualties. Okay, so a major loss in a team fight. Got you. So it's not even about the picks, because I feel like with the Boxia, it's very easy for Boxia to hold on to his lead in comparison to the Fanny. Fanny, it's like last time you get 1 kill. Oh no, it's going to be the Fanny show now. Nowadays, it's like he gets 1 kill. Okay, it's still sort of manageable.
Yeah, okay, so far we've been looking at it from a team fighting perspective. Let's now look at it from the macro perspective. Again, Filipino teams have been praised for so long with how well they manage the map, how well they manage split pushing to bring out pressure or bring pressure onto the opposing team. They've got a Fanny. Is that something AP BREN will consider to just focus on split push? Or because of the possible of a big scale from Bigatron Alpha, will they really just go for fights?
Well, I think it's one of those situations where every man has a power drill. Like, do you actually need one? No, but it's good to have one, you know?
It's great to have one.
It's great to have one if you can find the right situation for it. And I think the same can be said about Bigatron Alpha, right? Even though their overall play is going to be a lot more streamlined and they don't have as many tools, I feel for AP BREN, if the situation gets tough, they can fall back on the split push.
All right, here we enter. We have laid down the conditions, laid down what to watch out for. The Indonesian casters are hyping up Estora Senayan. Remember, if BTR win this, they will be match point.
Oh, with match point at hand, let's see, hopefully the nerves, and especially with the crowd that we have here, the Bigot Troopers have rallied, garrisoned here at Estora Senayan to show their support. In the meantime, we do see a purple start coming in from Kyle Teasy and Supervin just being an absolute nuisance. Kyle Teasy is going to lose a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that's going to be around a 5 to 7 second gap between him and the opposing jungler. Great disruption there by Supervin, and I think Supervin is still trying to find the angle there, but he's already committed this hook. So Kyle Teasy will be able to continue farming. But you already see the difference. Supercan is already in the jungle of AP BREN, taking away resources, while Kyle Teasy is still on his side of the river.
Yeah, and that's why you can see that Ogwen, he's trying to make sure that he can cover for the camps, cover for the smaller camps. We expect the top side to get invaded. That's kind of like, whatever, all right, sure. But on the bottom side, if he ends up losing maybe a Bugbear or even a Corbeau, even a Beetle, that's going to make sure that Kyle Teasy doesn't actually make it to that level 4. So it's one of those micro things that you have to be aware of if you ever face off, well, Bigatron Alpha playing as 5.
Yeah, now you see Supercan and Kyle Teasy seeing each other. Info provided for Cerezo. That's going to be a stun, but see if Kyle Teasy can whittle down Cerezo a bit because he's won the first minor trade in lane up against Flap Teasy. He was the first to bring Flap Teasy low, but now here's Few and Ogwen forcing a flicker out of Supervin.
Okay.
So that's a small resources, or a pretty big resource expended here by BTR. Let's see how well they're going to be able to contest this first turtle.
All right, so at least they can capitalize on something, right? I don't think Supervin is really going to, like, you know, walk up super far in front. He needs to hit level 4, so he's still a threat. And once he hits level 4, at least then it might be a deterrent. Cerezo sees 2, gonna get locked down. Feathered Airstrike gonna be committed on towards him as well. The sprint just not enough, especially when Flap Teasy has that rage meter maxed out.
Yeah, okay. So Moreno has the ultimate here of the Lapu Lapu. Supercan's close enough. I wonder if they're gonna try and just trade things out here, see what else they can find. It's gonna be 3 versus 2 in a bit. Flap Teasy's gonna go to the turtle.
I mean, they're posturing down on towards bottom side, but luckily, at least with Super Marco, he has to use his sprint to actually speed himself up. But here we go. Ogwen looking for the opportunity to try and block Cerezo so that Kyle can take it away. But no, Super Kenny still wins it out. Level 5 to level 5, Iron Hook connects on towards Flap Teasy's side. Oh wait, he almost gets it. The Bloody Hunt is gonna lock him down before Supervin falls. The fuse, Feathered Airstrike. It looked so good. The setup was there, but the finish, they weren't able to completely execute.
At the beginning of that, I think Ogwen was overthinking a little bit. He wanted to predict where Supercan wanted to go, try and get closer, but because of that, you saw him fly past the wall, past Supercan, so that Supercan actually ended up winning the retribution battle there. But AP BREN, again, it could have been a major loss. They're watching out for those major losses. They were still able to take something, but Bigatron Alpha won that for sure.
To be fair, I think at least Ogwen considered the most important possibilities, right? Because
yes,
let's say
of course.
if Cerezo was able to actually close the distance on Kyle, that knockup strike might have been just enough time for someone like Supercan to guarantee the neutral. And here comes Supercan now getting punished. The Feathered Airstrike is good. Flap Teasy helping to set that up. No way, Jose, are you going to invade us anymore?
Punished by AP BREN was Supercan. And now they're really doing everything they can to make sure that Kyle Teasy starts getting his buffs. They're still posturing around the purple buff, and around the jungle of AP BREN is BTR, but Flap gets hooked!
He gets hooked. Bloody Hunt, no opportunity to get out of there. Oh, poor Flap Teasy.
And what a read by Vin, but Cerezo be able to get out of that with a quick smack trade there. But with Kyle Teasy. So now AP BREN and Bigatron Alpha have been showing up a lot of action, but these two gold laners right now actually have just been left to their own devices. It's going to be a trade and a battle of just who's going to be able to lane better.
Up, feather airstrike onto Super Pin again.
Dodge.
Iron Hook is going to pull Owen underneath the turret. Moreno with the IMU. Oh! Good stun by Few just before the land splitter was about to hit.
Moreno was poked in the eye by a crow. That was so clutch by Few. And Kaltizi, Grand Theft Purple on the Bigatron Alpha. Will this empower BREN Esports in this contest for this second turtle?
To be fair, Kyle still does have his retribution, but he now has that level lead on towards SuperCan's side, but it's really hard to get any position here. They call it off. They say, no. We don't need to do this right now. Let SuperCan try to be oppressive as they want to. And Kyle Teasy, he wants to snowball. He's got that one kill.
Yeah.
He needs that second to guarantee it.
Bigatron Alpha, though, with how they're moving around the map, they're minimizing the possibility of that. Saken in lane has been doing really well with not giving AP BREN and Kyle Teasy any opportunity to burst him down. He already built up the steel leg plates, really just for safety on there. Meanwhile, it's actually going to be the warrior boost on the feet of Super Marco, still on the way to his first item, but it is very close. No considerable lead yet!
Kyle has to take the damage, and even the purple buff stolen away by SuperCan. At least these are one of the reads that Bigatron Alpha can guarantee every single time. You're Fanny, you gotta be by your purple.
I said yet, but as I said it, it happened. That's a major find by Bigatron Alpha, and you see Moreno here, man. He's been just like this all throughout. The confidence of this young man. Flap and Chorizo versus Kyle.
All right, Chorizo, he still has, 3 more seconds until the cooldown. No, Chorizo gets caught out. Flap too easy, bothering to actually flicker for it, knowing that he's got him on the ropes.
Okay, so AP BREN are clapping back. They're just doing everything they can to make sure there's a lot of room for their respective gold laners. Look at that, Saken and Super Marco neck and neck in the gold. I think BTR, let's see if they'll be able to find an opening down here. Will BREN counter? Here's Ogwin.
Yep, they find it, and now they're going to commit everything onto Superman, who has to figure out and even uses the conceal. The counter engage coming in from Moreno. It seems good, but Flap TZ is able to power through. Bloody Hunt, damage reduction is good enough, but Few can't take the damage. Moreno flickers forward and catches another. Ogwin, the last to survive. Kyle will find Moreno in the back line, too deep to be saved.
Saken found it. We talked about the crossbow. Oh, Chorizo versus Marco? No way. Oh, but Super Marco runs. Thumbs up to the Filipinos watching.
Supercan. Oh, okay. He's going back to the oppression. He wasn't fishing for kills. Thank goodness. And now Ogwen, he's going to try and lock down Supercan for as long as possible, but that's going to be purple stolen away once more by Supercan.
That's retribution committed by Supercan. But since BTR have already started and Kyle Teasy still has his on cooldown, AP BREN can't go forward and contest it. Bigatron Alpha, again, they're just like clockwork. As one sequence is happening in one part of the map, they're making sure there's someone else, there are other members on another part of the map to get something.
Admittedly, I would imagine that AP BREN is just a little surprised. Like, oh, they took the turtle, but they used retribution. It's one of those moments where you're trying to hit a skill shot and your opponent just walks in a straight line. But
Exactly.
Saken, he might be in some trouble here. Kaltizi gets some initial damage, but Superman is nearby. He's going to use his red retribution to steal away some attack damage from Saken to make sure that he minimizes the damage of the T2.
Yeah, and you can see there the patience that Kyle Teasy was showing. That's because he had a feeling that Superman was there. With how he was moving, he wasn't going all out. It's like Kyle Teasy was saying, why do I feel like there's a Franco nearby? I don't want this end up turning on my face here because I'm still wanting for resources. That's why the damage on Kyle Teasy's Fanny isn't that high yet. Yeah, he's 3-1-0, but it could have been so much worse for Bigatron Alpha, but they've applied so much pressure into this jungle, and even more so now, Saken already has the wind of nature.
Yeah, and despite all the oppression and invades coming in from Supercan, it's still, the level is pretty even, right? 11-11. Now this purple buff, once again, it's a very big red flag. BTR looking for an opportunity. He's feathered airstrike to try and zone out the rest of Moreno already using. Gets the stun on towards 2. Raise blade into the back. Flop TC has to get on the way as the airlines has already been activated. The Bloody Hunt on towards Super Marco's side. The BMI is going to get him out just in time, but Saken still healthy, still strong, but is able to deter the rest of them.
Somehow, AP BREN got to walk out of that with a kill. and no one going down on their side. That's the best they could hope for in that scenario. And Flapteasy getting out of range of Saken's crossbow of Tang just in time to minimize the damage it could dish out.
Can we talk about the fact that Moreno has just been solely, like, even though Flapteasy and as well as Few have been standing side by side, he didn't want the feathered airstrike. That's too basic. Give me the bravest fighter.
He wants that stun. And again, I think this proves even more the point we were making. Bigatron Alpha made this lineup and are playing to set up Super Ken for success. They're not getting the feathered airstrike. They want to maximize control so that they can get a nice crossbow of Tang. It's going to be a trade. BREN is going for the tower down bottom, while Bigatron Alpha will be able to get a free first Lord in this game number 2.
Yup, and Few is sticking nearby just in case Rizzo wants to show himself off once more. But here we go. Bigatron with very clear leads. Supercan is able to stop Ogren in his tracks as Rizzo tries to take this 1v1 against KyleTzy. But in the meantime, Saken is able to break the mid-tier 1. Clockwork, like you mentioned, Bigatron Alpha in Terminator mode.
Man, BTR, they're going to continue pressuring the jungle again of KyleTzy, who's going to get this purple buff.
No, they lock down Super Ken, and now they're making sure that he doesn't have an opportunity to feather airstrike as well as the bloody hunt onto one Super Marco side. The BMI couldn't be activated. Rizzo's still alive, and KyleTzy ends up falling. No members of the bigger troopers fall. AP BREN wiped out.
And this looks dire. In a crucial game number 2, minions coming in, Lord marching on their side, close to 7 to 12 seconds on the timers. AP BREN were taken out of the map in a snap. Supervin landing a massive hook and catch onto Super Marco!
And he does it again! Moreno pushing Ogren back, feathered airstrike looking to punish. They find it as Super Marco will proxy the way with this and take his BMI away. They lose 2 inhibitors. They need to clear up these waves as much as they can. But Supervin right now, he does not miss.
The teams who were interviewed and asked about Bigatron Alpha, who is the player on BTR that you're watching out for? A lot of them say Supervin. BTR got stronger because of Supervin. And Supervin right now is putting on a signature Franco performance for the ages. But again, it's not just him. It's the entire BTR. It's the Terminators working like clockwork. And now AP BREN will have their backs against the wall. Dude, that's 35% skill accuracy, but the ones that landed have been massive.
They have been massive. High impact iron hooks so far. Supercan can take the damage, put down the 60%, but Rizzo tries for the flank on towards KyleTzy's side. Almost good, but can't connect.
There's always something with BTR. Their conditions, they're always checking something. There's always a plan B. And right now, the plan B are the fists of Rizzo. If they can't get the initiation they want around Vin, around Moreno, there's always a Paquito behind them looking to punch them in the livers. Kidneys? Livers. What hurts more?
I mean, both hurt pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's true.
The liver punch, though, I will say particularly hurts. But in the meantime, Saken is finishing off his last couple of items here, because now with Bigatron Alpha breaking into the 42k mark, you can expect that the marksmen with no deaths whatsoever.
Wow.
4-0-2, Saken is one big boy.
And again, this is considering that he's up against a lineup with a Farsa, with a Fanny. It just goes to show how well BTR have set up Saken for success and how well Saken has been positioning himself and maximizing and knowing that, yeah, my range isn't that high with my ultimate. I am going to be as safe as I can. Oh, Rizzo! Not going to be able to burst down KyleTzy. The Bigatron Alpha, this looks like a free Lord.
Yep, it looks like they're going to get this no matter what. Feather airstrike to try to be the deterrent, but Bigatron Alpha, they're not even worried here. Purple buff is stolen away by Kyle in the meantime, knowing that he's not going to get his own, but at the very least, keeps him in check, keeps him in play.
They're just looking for scraps right now, AP BREN. AP BREN saying, please, I want more, another bowl of porridge. Bigatron Alpha is just telling them no. But you can get the scraps that are left on the map. They continue to invade the jungle of KyleTzy. Again, KyleTzy has a purple buff, not too worried. Will AP BREN be able to withstand the oncoming storm that is BTR Alpha?
Here we go, here we go. This could be the final moments here. This could be match point Superken trying to zone off the rest of them as the last inhibitor begins to fall. Cerezo is just buying time, wasting Kaltizi's energy, forcing him to go back underneath the fountain. They need to look for the clear, but here comes the conceal. Reno has the bravest fighter. He finds it in the back line. Super Marco once again hits it. He's dead. And now we know damage. Cerezo takes out Flaptizi, and Sakin is able to free hit. That's GG.